Okay. I know. Come here.
The giant wolf dog.
Oh, you're too big.
I think he's as big as I am.
You're too big. Okay. Lay down. Lay down. We're about to talk about some serious stuff here.
About to get to business.
All right.
So welcome back to the Fantasy Dark Horse for our third episode, and we are aboard the Rite of Passage with David Barros, and I am Mike Molina. I'm here to talk about Fantasy Surfer.
Amen.
And Margaret River is our next stop.
Margaret
River. So this is our first live broadcast, which is pretty awesome, and I think we have a really killer day. While we have no surf, we thought we'd have some fun and talk about surfing, and hopefully we get some good surf at Margaret River.
Yeah, so, I mean, like we talked about in our last podcast, which we didn't do a live broadcast of, but it was kind of our first experiment, so to speak. We kind of said that when you're picking your fantasy surfer team, one of the most important things when picking a team is obviously how the forecast is going to be at any particular venue. I mean, it could be small and tiny and onshore versus big and offshore winds, and at any different venue, it's kind of going to change the lineup of who you're going to pick on your team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, both of us kind of looked, on the surf forecast online, sites that are predicting the surf forecast for Margaret's River during the waiting period, which starts on the 29th. And to be honest with you, I'm not, we're not really familiar with the magic seaweeds of the world,
Right.
We don't know if they're, when it says 5 to 8 feet on the beginning day, is that Hawaiian scale? Is that Australian scale? What the hell is Australian scale anyway? I don't know. But we are expecting it to be at least 2 to 3 foot overhead.
Well, that's what it looks like.
On the first day.
Yeah, if you cross compare with Surfline, it shows like the next couple of days, Friday, Saturday, to be around the 15-foot range. Where what Magic Seaweed said 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So
who do you believe?
So you could
kind of guess between that.
Draw your suspicions from that.
Right.
And last year it really looked like it was pretty big.
Yeah, it was big.
And at least we brushed up on some of the quarterfinals, and they looked pretty juicy. What double overhead
on some days?
On some of those sets.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, who did good in that last year? Can you see? Even
I can't see with the glare.
I mean, I know there's a lot of glare. Let's see if I can. Hold on.
You can see. Let's recap the quarterfinal from last year.
We're gonna try
and see.
Can't see anything.
The top 8 guys that were in the race for the finish.
We're gonna do our best. You've got to. Okay, here we go.
Did I close it?
No. But you can talk. I'll try to add some. Here we go. Here's the results from last year.
Coming up.
So it looks like in the quarterfinals. Can I see? Let's leave the glasses off. So Joel Parkinson beat Nat Young in the first heat of the quarterfinals. He had a score of 15.83 to Nat Young's 14.24. So that kind of tells you right there the Goofies were doing pretty good in that event.
Right.
Next heat was Julian Wilson, who beat Fioravanti, who's our rookie. Who's our rookie for this year.
Deep.
I mean.
Yeah, but you might not have heard his name until this year, which for me, I didn't even realize he was in that contest last year. I might have missed Margaret River.
Yeah, it's true, but this is a kid who's beaten Kelly Slater twice, and he's kind of like a big kid, regular footer. Can do really good. Like, you're not really going to have to do a Toledo type of air at Margaret River. You can be that Sunset Beach type of surfer.
Broad strokes, right?
Broad strokes. I like that. Okay. So Then in the third heat of the quarterfinals, actually Italo Ferrara beat Kolohe.
Wow. So Kolohe went deep last year.
Kolohe went deep.
Italo also.
But Italo just got pulled off the beach.
That's what I heard. That's what you were telling me.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything more than that.
I don't either. I don't know.
I haven't done deep research on it.
I don't know if he's like put him out of the contest and if there's going to be a heat redrop.
So far, he's still in the heat drop.
Well,
so,
according to this bracket.
According to WSL bracket, but hopefully they would update that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So far, if at minimum, at the very least, he's coming in hobbled.
Yeah.
And it's gonna, this is a wave where you're gonna have to apply a lot of pressure to your board for drawing speed and continued rail turns. It's pure rail turns and critical turns. If you can find a critical spot on the wave to go vertical and show some power and throw some water.
Yeah, I agree.
That takes a lot of force, especially when you're drawing off of kind of a flatter wave, which if you go to WSL and look at the heat analysts, you can see some of the waves. A lot of, I think you can watch the whole heat actually. You can go to each heat and watch it. And, it's just kind of like a fat wave. So you really gotta
and it's a left and a right too. It's a left and a right.
It is a left and a right.
Last year was mostly rights.
Right.
Yeah. So,
but there was some lefts, and so both competitors have a good chance to go backside and take advantage of vertical turns.
Let's get to what you're saying is that even if Italo was to make it to the comp, what's the chances that he's going to be at anywhere the percentage that he could make it to the quarters like he did last year?
I think it's definitely cut in half. His odds.
Easily.
I'm personally going to be picking against him going forward.
So let's just look really quick.
Caution.
And I agree. So let's look at the quarterfinal last year was Seabass versus Caio Belli.
Oh, Caio.
So Caio again, another if you didn't look at last year's competition, you wouldn't be thinking, okay, Caio Belli's.
You wouldn't be thinking Caio because he's a smaller guy too. So
you're not thinking
around.
But he made it last year, doing big turns apparently.
Right.
So I'm going to give the look at this. I'm trying to work this out here. This iPad is not cooperating with me. So are we going on to the semis? Do we have a next thing we want to talk about before we go to the semis, or what is our?
Before we get too far.
So we said a quick review of the first round. Okay, so that's what we got to go to next. Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you take over here, if you can see it.
Awesome. I could almost see it. There we go. It's terrible how sunglasses don't work on these things.
Yeah, it is.
It's just come on, man.
So you're looking for the highlighted blue.
There we go. And we got round one: Slater, O'Leary, and Govea. We already went ahead and pre-picked these just to make it go a little faster through round one since there's so many heats. So we picked Slater in the first heat,
obviously,
for obvious reasons. Heat 2 and Andino, Fanning, Fioravanti. We went with Fanning because he's pretty much known for rail work as well. Although Andino has a fair chance.
He did well last year.
Fioravanti's ferocious as well. But, just based on pure rail work, we're going with Fanning right now.
Right.
Wilkinson, Kennedy, and Lau. Just because
Wilco and Lau.
Wilco might have a lot of opportunity to go backside and
pumped up from the last event.
Yeah, and obviously they're still scoring backside vertical turns and connecting turns a little higher than some would think you should. So we're picking Wilco. Heat 4, we have Jordy, Pupo, and Freestone. We went with Jordy out of those three. Round 5, Medina, Igarashi, and Mendez. We went with Medina all day because he's one of the most versatile surfers on.
And he's just super competitive.
He's so competitive. He'll do whatever it takes to win. Heat 6, Florence, Dantes, and a wild card 1. who we don't know who that is. Do you think Nat's going to get into this contest?
Shit, I don't know. If Italo has an injury, does that mean Nat comes in?
I don't know.
I'm asking that. I don't know.
I don't know either, but if he does, keep your eyes peeled for Nat Young appearance, because obviously we just talked about he made it to the quarters.
Yeah.
So he's not really worried about making heats, in my opinion. I wouldn't. If I was
and he's got a great backside. That's a place I think backsiders can do well at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a fat wave that you can just wind up at. And
he's got great water displacement on his turns.
He does.
Sure.
He does.
So on to Heat 7, Owen Wright, Kyle Bailey, and Jepson. We just said Kyle did well, but Owen's coming off a win, so...
Absolutely. How can you go against Owen?
I don't know, and he's got the bigger stature, so I mean, water displacement, you know.
But how expensive is Owen?
I think he's around 10 now. Let me double check.
Are you going to look at that?
I have it up.
If you have that up.
I have it up in just one click of the finger here. We have Owen. Pretty sure he's 10. Oh, he's 8. He's 8 million.
Oh, 8.
8 million.
Sure.
And Kyle is 5.75.
Ooh.
So he's got expensive for my blood. I mean, whew.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great comparison. A 5 guy versus an 8 guy who, you know, the 5 guy got pretty far last year.
5 guy did get pretty far. So if you need him later in your Oscar pick, you can think about that. If you're still thinking about your top guys, Owen's definitely a guy you could.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Owen right now, you don't let go of him.
No.
You know, at this point, you know, if you don't have Owen, maybe Kyle is the guy that you kind of want to pick.
Right.
Okay, so who's in the next?
8. Heat 8. Parco, Buckin, Flores.
Parco.
Yeah, Dr. Smooth. Go ahead and steal that man. Heat 9. D'Souza, Coffin, Daru.
Shit. I mean, to me, it would be between D'Souza and Coffin, obviously.
Yeah. And we're gonna pick Coffin just for fun because he's got really good rail work.
And he did good last year.
He did good last year. Heat 10, we have Perez, Kerr, and Durbridge.
Shit.
Durbridge looked pretty snappy at Snappa.
Yeah.
I think he looked really good. And he's always been known for his power surfing. But Perez is obviously, Spartan. Also very well known for his power surfing.
Absolutely. I gotta go with Perez.
Let's go with Perez on that. He's not coming off an injury. Even though B did look really good. We'll have to see more. Hopefully he climbs the ratings for sure. We got Julian, Italo, and Ewing. And we just said Italo
might be injured.
So
that might throw off this whole draw.
So that might throw off a lot of things. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll shoot another pod if it does.
Yeah.
And run a couple more heat draws in a frantic mess and see what we come out with.
And I might pick him. Yeah, I might pick him if he was 100%. But if he's in the contest and the draw stays the same, I'm picking Julian in a heartbeat.
Yep, Julian. Heat 12. Toledo, Zeitz, and Moraes. And we're going with Zeitz.
Yeah, he's good last year.
His surfing's great. I love watching his surfing.
Yeah. And that's not a Toledo wave.
No.
That's a Zeitz wave.
Yeah. Philippe, sorry, I don't know. Maybe he'll prove us wrong. But I'm pulling for Zeitz in any way, shape, or form I can. Anyways, so now we're on to round 2.
Okay.
Do or die.
On to round 2.
Do or die. Andino versus wildcard number 1.
I don't know who wildcard number 1 is. I'll pick Andino.
I'll pick Andino for now. And even if it was Nat.
Ooh, shit. That would be hard. I might take that back, but right now I'm picking.
But I think even
Andino.
still, you could go with Andino and not, feel bad about it.
Okay.
If you can afford him.
Honestly, I would pick
If
Nat.
you can afford him, because Colombia is expensive.
Because
so you
we know
definitely, that would be a great value if you smoke Andino. Boom, you got.
We know the WSL loves, just nice backhand turns in the pocket, and doesn't matter if you tweak it or do anything. You get 3 of those, you get a 9. That's how the WSL is.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I'd have to pick Nat in that case. But if it's
Right.
right now, Calais.
Calais. He too. D'Souza and Mendez. Got to go with Adriano. For obvious reasons.
For sure. Competitive machine.
Competitive machine. That's all you really got to say. Mendez still a lot to prove and a lot to step up. In all honesty, Adriano's been killing it for a while now, and competitive machine.
No doubt.
Heat 3, Toledo Freestone. That'll be a really good heat.
Toledo Freestone.
I mean, technically Toledo can do it, but Freestone has a really good chance of taking that.
I'm picking Freestone.
Why not? Why not? You know,
easily. Picking
so Freestone, like a 3 million guy. So that's a guy you can
maybe get to third round.
Yeah, maybe get to the third round. You might surprise, and he's waiting to explode. I think we haven't, I think something's gonna pop with him. We haven't heard his name that much lately.
Yeah.
And I think he's ready.
I mean, he's a phenom, but maybe because he's hooked up with Alana Blanchard, like he doesn't have to do as well. He's already got like a really hot chick. So
that might slow your roll.
Might slow your roll. I'm just saying.
That could slow your roll.
It'd slow your roll.
Sure.
Like if you had an ugly chick already, he'd be like trying like double hard to get that harder chick. But he's got Alana Blanchard.
Wow.
No need to try. No need to try. I'm just
Heat
saying.
4. Italo and Ezekiel Lau.
Oh shit. Well, we already talked about Italo, so
I think
Lau's gonna win if Italo comes in with an injury. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we got Lau going through. We got Josh Kerr and Pierre Vontae.
Shit.
Josh Kerr went deep last year.
Kerr always does well at Margaret River. He's got more knowledge of the place. I gotta give it to Kerr.
I
got it.
Pierre Vontae out in the second round. What we sad about that.
Sorry, Pierre Vontae.
Ace and Govea.
Shit.
Woo, I like Ace, dude. Ace is so sneaky.
He's a competitive machine too.
Yeah, he's so sneaky. All of a sudden he's bashing and like you're like, what?
I gotta take Ace there.
Yeah.
I've had no bites, by the way. Not one.
No bites?
Not.
Maybe it's too sunny.
I don't know.
Sunny. We might not mention we're out here in California, Ventura, California, chilling on the yacht, talking surfing.
I'm gonna try right under the
wind's
boat.
actually dying down, and there is swell.
It is. The wind's dying down.
Watch out.
I should have a croaker or something.
I know, you're not getting nothing?
Yeah, sweet.
Alright, well, Heat 7, Ubeli and Jadson Andre. Gotta go Kyle. Kyle made it to the quarters, right?
Yeah.
Quarters? Let's go quarters.
I gotta go at belly.
Give me to the third round if I got you,
Yeah, absolutely. Good value.
Connor O'Leary and Jeremy Flores.
Shit, crap. Connor O'Leary showed some really great backhand. This is a wave that's really good for backhand. I don't know if Flores is traditionally been that like sunset wave type of guy. I might have to go with O'Leary.
Yeah, I think it's a coin flip on that one.
That's a coin flip for sure.
But I think Flores is cheap as heck right now too. He's like 3.
Are you serious?
He's like 3.5. Let me look.
Holy shit.
3.25 million.
When are you ever gonna get?
But dude, he gets such bad heat draws. I don't know. I had him last event, and I could just see it. It's one of those years where, if he doesn't move up significantly.
Wait.
Go get a bite.
I got a bite.
If he doesn't move up significantly, he's just going to continue to face Kelly and Mick and Joel and freaking...
Dude, he's got to beat that. He's got to beat him in that then. Come on.
Dude, he's got to have his final in round 2 or 3.
Fish on. Fish on.
And then worry about taking off everybody else.
Fish on. Fish on.
Nice. Oh, get that thing
live streaming. Okay, come on. Where's my fucking... I need my pliers.
Cranky?
That's a croaker right there.
The croaker.
Ah, shit. How do I get this off? Okay, hold on.
Oh, beat. You'll get it.
I
don't see your pliers.
Oh, he's free.
He's free.
Okay, good. Keep going on. That's just part of the stream.
Croaky is
That's
free.
just a bonus for the fans right there. That's right. Using 6-pound test, size 4 hook with some squid on the back of a 40-foot bayliner while we talk about surfing. Hey, don't get excited, Pico. Pico, we're
you
still...
want to get some fish, bud?
Pico, come on. I know you like the fish.
So, bam, who are we picking? O'Leary, Flores?
I'm picking O'Leary.
Alright. Flores just hasn't been able to pull out those heats. I don't know. It makes me sad.
I'm picking O'Leary.
I pull for him. Stu and Daru.
I gotta take Stu.
Yeah, give me Stu.
Because isn't Daru's a goofy footer, right?
I don't know that much about Daru.
And he's not like, I mean, he surfed the QS for how many years?
Yeah, he's goofy foot.
He surfed the goofy.
Yeah, I've never really been that impressed with surfing. Sorry,
I gotta
buddy.
take Stu.
Sorry, buddy.
Okay.
Stu's legit.
Alright, moving on.
Pupo, Durbridge.
Durbridge.
Durbo. Our boy is back. Igarashi Ewing. I kind of like Ewing surfing, dude. I think I did see like
I just
one.
am not familiar with him enough.
I'm not either, but.
But you know what? Also, Kanoa is probably not the biggest heavy-footed surfer in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you're not saving anything. Really, it's like picking between Kanoa and,
okay, I'm letting you pick that.
Ewing.
I'm letting you pick that.
Well, how much is Kanoa? It's $4 million.
Ooh, I'm getting it.
So on the value, I'm taking Ewing.
Okay.
Just because, well, you know, whatever.
You pick it. I'm getting some nibbles here.
I think it's a coin flip either way. And we got Wiggly and Moraes.
Wiggly Dantas and Marias. Ooh, that was a hard hit right there. Hold on. I gotta go Wiggly. Ooh,
Yeah, Wiggly. Wiggly's got a deadly backhand. If he can start unleashing, it'll start raining.
Yeah, I gotta go Wiggly. I think Wiggly
There's
actually
guys.
went pretty far last year too.
Nice. Alright, so that gets us to round 3. The elimination round. If you
Round number 3, and so
want to get 8-2 to 3.
Yes.
8 through to the round 3.
And the other deal is you want to try to like get people who are on opposite sides of the draw and they're not facing friendly fire to where you're going to knock off each other. So that's really key as well. So, and then finally too, it's really hard to predict what the conditions are going to be by the time you get to round 3 with the men's in this case, because you have the women's there first of all, so you don't know how they're going to switch off, and then you might have declining surf, so it's kind of really hard to predict.
In this case, we do have declining surf. So round 1 to round 2 is a lot of heats, and maybe that's the maximum they squeeze in for the guys. And then they gotta shoot some women's because it's the same waiting period, I think.
Did you pick a women's team?
I did pick a women's team. I failed last event. I failed. I got too busy with work, and I logged on, and the women's was running, and I was just like, oh, I didn't pick my women's team. So now I get leftovers. But I got a good team, so I'm not worried about it.
I mean, how did Lakey do? I mean, she's like from our local hood.
Yep.
We've surfed with her like
Get to see her surf plenty.
100 times. We've seen her grow up on Santa Barbara.
Yep.
And she came back from an injury and almost freaking won Snapper. How many people picked her? Probably not a lot.
I had her on my team. I would have had her on my team if I would have picked the team.
So.
Sage and Lakey, I got your back. You're always on my team.
Yeah, it's
gotta represent.
Sage from Ojai, California,
represent.
which is where you currently live.
Yep, born and raised.
Okay. So, are we talking about women's? No, we just went into 3rd round. What's kind of our next?
We gotta.
What's our next topic?
Let's slice through round 3.
Okay, let's slice through round 3. Let's do it. Let's do it.
What time is it? 4:50. I think we've only been shooting for like 20-30 minutes.
Okay, we got round 3. I think that should be our final.
Think so? All right.
Maybe. I don't know. See if I catch another fish.
You got it. So we got round 3, Wilkinson Ewing. Gotta go with Wilco.
Gotta go with Wilco.
He's on fire, and he did really well last year. He almost won it, right?
Yeah, and freaking he did really well at Snapper again.
Super well. They love the backhand. Keep feeding us all these right-hand point breaks, and the goofy footers are gonna take y'all down.
Yeah.
Apparently the judges just are gonna give it to us.
I don't even want to go into that.
They're gonna give it to us, dude.
So frustrating.
Like, yeah, let's get us a goofy foot champion.
2 goofy footers here. Neither of us think that you should give a 9 or a 10 point for a fucking 3.
3 vertical turns,
vertical
unless
turns.
it's super like critical, like
Yeah.
like Owen was surfing really well. Some of his waves
Whatever.
even look.
Whatever.
You
They're
don't think
scoring.
so?
They're scoring wave choice. No, all of them are scoring on wave choice.
Yeah.
Never should a right hand freaking goofy footer on a right hand point break ever beat a regular footer in the same conditions, in my opinion.
Right.
Let's go into that in a different time. Let's go on.
Okay. Heat 2, we have D'Souza and Bailey.
Shit. That's hard.
That's right. If you have Bailey, dude, you're kind of like,
Yeah, you're.
D'Souza's go down.
Yeah, that's the heat. You're like, come on, Belly. You're like,
Right.
I know Adriano. He's really pissed that
He's
Gabriel
really
Medina.
good.
Gabriel Medina won the World Tour before him. I know, it's great. But then he came back and won it himself. So now he's kind of like, you know what? I don't mind as much. Kind of pissed. Medina won before I did, but I won too. So life is grand. Do I need to compete as hard as I did before? I don't know. I mean, Adriano, I think it's in his nature to compete at 100% all the time.
Right.
Shit, dude, that's
Yep.
a 50-50 right there. I'm gonna take D'Souza.
You gotta take it D'Souza, but if you got Bailey in your back pocket, you're pulling for him big time. You know he can do it. He made it to the quarters last year.
Yeah, that's true.
And D'Souza wasn't a part of that, was he? I didn't see him.
I
in
didn't
there.
see D'Souza in the
I
quarters
didn't see
last
no
year.
D'Souza.
No.
So then we got Kolohe and Wiggly.
Shit.
Whoop.
Wiggly, dude. Wiggly's got a solid backhand power freaking game.
I'm going Wiggly. I
I'm
like
going Wiggly,
Kolohe,
too.
dude. I really like
I'm going
Kolohe.
Wiggly too.
But I think Wiggly, if he's got to like plow through the lip, he can do it. And
He can do it.
He can do it.
He can do it.
And he more than likely will, because that's his steez.
Yeah, I'm going Wiggly there.
Then we got Parko O'Leary.
Parko.
Parko?
Parko.
We have not seen enough from Mr. Connor O'Leary.
Nico, it's not your time to cry. We're doing a show here.
Wolf Dog, we are not going hunting.
This
just
is not
this
about
time.
you. It's not about you, Nico.
We'll kill some bugs another time. Zeetz Kerr.
Shit. Kerr's done really well there. Zeetz freaking won it last year, right?
Did he win it? He did.
Did he win it? Yeah, I think Zeetz won it, right?
Let me look. Sounds right. I can't see.
He either won it or got second.
Oh yeah, he won.
He won.
Over Julian. That's
And
right.
Julian.
Woo, Julian.
Okay, I'll go Zeetz.
Alright. Sick. Let's see if I can get that.
What's up with these fish, man? You think not? Trying to give him some squid love, but no.
There we go. Zeetz.
Okay, we got Zeetz.
Florence Freestone.
What round are we at? Or what he?
Heat 6.
Okay, heat 6.
So we're still on the first half. If you're trying to divide your team
Yeah.
and spread the wealth, as
Spread
it
the
were.
love.
Spread the love. You want to stretch your team out between these 12 heats. So
Yeah,
that
don't pick everybody in the first 6 heats. is what
You
he
got
said.
everybody in the first 6 heats. You're going to be in trouble. You're going to end out with 2 guys in the quarters or something terrible.
Okay, so where are we at? Freestone. Who?
Florence Freestone. So
Oh, Florence Freestone.
John.
Oh man, I gotta go John.
Gabe Ezekiel.
Wow. I still gotta go Gabe just because I think his competition, like contest savvy.
Well, they could do full rotation airs on like flat
Yeah, I think he's just. Oh, I'm getting nibbles. I'm getting nibbles. But yeah, I think Medina's contest savvy is 1,000 times
He
better
can
than
pick
most
really
people.
good waves. He picks good waves all the time. He knows what he's looking for.
I
It's
gotta
not
go
like he
Medina.
hasn't been there.
I gotta go Medina.
Wilson Coffin.
Oh my god.
Nasty.
Yeah, because both of them are similar. You know,
That's a nasty one.
both of them are really similar. Like they both can do like similar type of frontside airs. I mean, obviously Julian is way more of an aerial guy, but that's not going to come into play at Margaret River. And Connor's really good on that power, that front hand power. Goes into reverts, can do laybacks with the best of them, can come late, hit it late, and still pull off all kinds of maneuvers, and still does a, hold on. Oh, that was a swing and a miss. Oh, but that, second time's a charm, second time's a charm. Vico's excited. Vico, oh, there we go for you on live stream again. Mike wants to get up so he doesn't get splashed.
No splashing.
From again. Hold on. I'm just gonna show you again. That's
Beautiful.
a croaker. It's a croaker. A little dropper loop right there. Live again on
Pretty fish there.
on the Dark Horse Fantasy Surfer team stream rather. I said team.
Those don't catch bugs,
Yeah.
by the way. We tried that.
Nice. Oh, look at dude. I got him from underneath too. That was awesome.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
We're gonna release this guy too.
Wilson Coffin. I don't
Okay, so I'm going Wilson because I think Wilson needs to win a world title this year, or it's not gonna happen.
know. I don't think it's gonna happen. In my opinion, I don't know. He obviously has the skills, but he just hasn't been working out. We've seen that happen with other athletes in other sports, but we won't go there. Owen Wright, Mick Fanning.
Okay, shit. I mean, Owen's on fire, but damn, dude.
Dang, they get crossed up? That's bad.
That's bad. That if they meet in round 3, that should be something that everybody should look at, just based on this draw that we picked. That's not necessarily.
This one's already cashed out a little bit different than some of my other draws, which is nice. It's nice to get another variation because this is our collaboration heat draw.
That's what I'm saying. This
And
might
it
not
works.
necessarily end up this way.
But it's
based on
one
what we
scenario for sure.
One scenario.
that has come out this way.
And if that is the case,
No, Owen.
crap, dude. Okay.
You think Owen?
I mean, that is a really good wave for backsiders, you know?
I think Owen just.
I'm going to
because
go
of
with Owen, too. I'm going to go with Owen, too. That would be horrible for my team. Because I still have Mick left over from last. Of course. If
I have
you
Mick,
had
too.
Mick, you had
I have
Mick a
Mick
snapper
and
for
Owen.
5, come on.
I have Mick and Owen.
Yeah, and you don't want to let go of Mick.
I don't want to let go of either of them. And I
Not
think
that
this
price.
was. Oh no, it was. Who was? Adriano was. I have Adriano also. But I haven't getting through yet. He is getting through. Anyways, so Heat 10, Slater Kennedy.
I got to go with Slater.
Slater song.
Yeah. I got to go with Slater.
I think that's going to be a good heat though.
Yeah, but I
Stu
think
could get it.
Kennedy's better at like a snapper point break than he is at a big Margaret River, in my opinion. And I think Kelly can bust that out. Kelly made the quarters, man. Snappers. WSL wants him to do well. Come on, you know it. He's part of the story.
All right,
I take Kelly.
I take Kelly. All right, that sounds good to me.
Next.
I'm trying.
All right. You having difficulty?
Just gonna get back to bracket. There we go. Perez Buckin.
I'll go with Perez.
I hope Buckin wins that, but yeah, Perez. Gotta go with Perez.
Go with Perez.
Jordy and Durbo.
Holy crap and moly. I'm still going with Jordy. Because Jordy's younger.
Yeah.
It's been, I mean, Durbo hasn't been.
He's number 3 in the world. We go with
He's
Jordy.
number 3 in the world. You gotta go with him. And he's just like a massive power guy. Pico. No. We're on the show here. It's not about you.
Ideally, you want to have 8 through this point.
Yeah.
All your boys want to get through this point. And I don't know if this roster is very conducive to that financial resource.
Yeah, I see.
I don't think the resources are actually there for this team. Because look we have Wilkinson, D'Souza, and Dantes.
Right.
Dantes is the cheapest guy out
in the
of
4th round.
In round 4, Heat 1.
Okay.
It's Wilkinson, D'Souza, Dantes.
Yeah.
So I have Adriano right now. I had Wiggly. Now I might think about getting him back on there. So he's the cheap guy out of that.
Okay.
He's the one cheap guy that's probably less than $5 million. And let me verify those numbers while we look at Heat 2 with Parkinson, Zeitz, and Florence.
Yeah. Florence is the most expensive. He's like 12.5. So Parco is actually a reasonable price, but Parco went up from Snapper by $500,000 or $1 million because he did fairly well.
Right. So Wiggly's $4 million, and let's see, Mr. Parker Lonnie. Where did he go? Joel's 8.5 now.
Oh wow. Which is kind of expensive, you know, if you didn't get him right off the bat.
Yeah, I didn't take him.
You're comparing him against other people that could do really well.
Seabass is 7.25.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be a hard choice, right?
And then obviously John's number 1, so that's 12.5 million in case you didn't know.
And I don't have John because traditionally I don't take the highest valued person.
Yeah, it takes really a lot out of your stacks.
Yeah, I traditionally don't do that, especially if you don't know for sure they're going to win the event. Like John didn't win Snapper, you know, and so it wasn't worth 12.5 to pick John for Snapper.
You need to be winning events for sure.
You have to win the event.
You got to be like semis at least, like every event.
Exactly.
If you're
because he's not gaining any value.
Yeah.
So there's no point.
Yeah.
There's no point unless you know he's going to win that. I mean, if it's Pipeline, Chopu, any barreling event, you got to take that guy because he's given to get to the finals. But in a Snapper place where he's not given, do you want to risk $12.5 million to see if that's going to happen? I don't think so.
Right. Okay. So those guys are all expensive. Parco, Seeds, and Florence, all super expensive.
I got Parco already at cheaper prices on my team.
I don't think I have Seabass. I don't know if I still have him. He's pretty. No, I don't have him anymore. I've already moved my team around a bunch. I probably still will a little bit. Heat 3, Medina, Wilson, and Wright.
Medina, Wilson, Wright.
All expensive guys except for all of them.
Yeah, they're all expensive. So that proves your point. Yeah, you probably can't afford a team that's all going to the quarters. So you got to find the right guys in between.
Heat 4, Slater, Perez, Smith.
Wow.
Also all expensive guys.
Yeah.
So this is kind of where like you're like, all right, I need to like maybe do some wishful thinking on this and pick your guys that have the best heat. Look at Wilkinson, Ewing. Okay, so Wilkinson's on your team if you can afford him. D'Souza, Bailey. Technically, D'Souza should have a really good shot at that.
Yeah.
So the tough ones, you know, like I don't know how good Connor O'Leary is. He did pretty good at the last event.
Yeah, he did really good.
So I'd have to look at some of those heats again and see some of his better scoring waves.
But again, Snapper is different than a Margaret's, you know, like.
True.
You know.
But there was a lot of turns going on. You know, there's still something to be said for what kind of power he was able to put in the turns. But
yeah,
definitely a different wave. You're gonna have to draw speed from a different spot in the wave, and apex at a different spot in the wave.
Right.
So let's see. So yeah, it's kind of hard to be wishful thinking against Joel Parkinson.
It is. He did well last year too.
Kolohe's expensive against Wiggly, so Wiggly's already the underdog that you're taking there.
I'd rather have Wiggly. Yeah.
Gabe Ezekiel, I don't really see that going another way. John Jackie, I don't really see that going a different way. Here's where how much is Connor Coppin?
He's getting up. What is he in the 6 range now?
He's pretty expensive, I say.
I think he's got to be 5 or 6 million.
He is 6 million.
Okay.
Good call, right on it. So that's a little savings if you could somehow get that going.
That's true. I mean, that guy could get to the quarters for 6, right?
And out of Owen and Mick is actually the value there.
Yeah.
So you're stoked on being able to take Mick on a chance to beat Owen coming off a win.
So I think that's a good point on who's your value pick.
Yeah. So you might be able to save money and have a top 5 surfer like Mick Fanning on your team for cheap. And save like almost $5 million, I think, because Mick didn't do well last event. He got knocked out early, so
yeah, earlier than you would expect.
5.25 million, and what we said, Owen's 8, so you're saving almost $3 million, which is a whole guy.
Yeah,
just about.
That's a whole guy.
It's a whole guy.
It's a whole cheap guy.
It's like almost a Coyote Bailey.
Or a really good wild card.
Yeah, really good wild card for sure. Obviously 1.5 million. So
So before we wrap this up, is there anything else?
We're still going.
Okay, we still.
We're still trying to find out if there's any. So Fanning's your value there. So now we got Slater Kennedy, Stu. Stu, I think, is actually a value there. If you think somehow he's going to be able to take out Kelly.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
It's $5 million.
I think Stu's also a better quick turns, right hand point break rather than sunset type of wave.
He's got good carbs.
He does have good carbs, but I don't know.
I think he's got a swing at it, but obviously Slater. Slater.
I'll take Slater then.
But we're looking for value here.
And Slater hasn't traditionally done well at Margaret's, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know how motivated he. What if he doesn't even show up?
And he doesn't do well at Sunset.
He doesn't
He doesn't really do well at that type of wave all the time.
Yeah. So I mean, dude, Stu's got a chance.
I'll let you pick.
I'm not trying to pick. I'm just saying, like, as a value, you could look at that direction. You could pull it out somehow. And then Perez and Buchan, you could save money on Ace because maybe Ace could beat Perez, but also, you know, the front runner there is Perez.
Perez for sure.
And then Jordy and Durbridge. Yeah, maybe
hard.
Maybe Jordy slumps and Bede can beat him. Who knows? So I have Bede on my team, so I'm actually okay with him getting to the third round and getting knocked out.
I'd give you Jordy 2-1 odds there.
Yeah, well, and Jordy's like freaking, what, 12 million? 11
No.
million?
Oh, maybe 11.
He's 11 million.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, if you have Jordy, you're kind of expecting him to get to semifinals.
Well, you're only going to have one or two guys that are over 9 million or 8 million. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
8 million and over, you can only afford 3 of those guys, maybe, and then have a bunch of chumps under them. So you really got to balance your roster and this is going to be a tough one. This is rail work. This is, you know, bells, but I think harder, you know, because I don't like. I personally don't like the wave, but
yeah, no, for sure.
It brings a different style of surfing that maybe I don't respect enough.
No, and both of us would probably say the same thing about Sunset. Like, you know, I think we both say that Sunset is on the tour because of tradition more than it is a world-class wave.
Right.
There's probably 20 different waves that we would rather see on the world tour than we would want to see Sunset.
Certainly.
Or Margaret River for.
It's good to keep that stuff around, but speaking from a pure fan, you know, like Dave brought me into watching these events, whatever, 10 years ago or something. I forget, something like that.
Yeah.
And those events are hard to watch for the casual fan. So I almost feel for that fan. Like, I can watch it for a while, but even with respect for the history of surfing, like, it only takes it so far sometimes. Like, you really only want to watch, like, the best people that can rip in those conditions, and then everybody else is struggling. It's hard to watch people struggle surfing.
Yeah, Sunset is not on the tour for a reason, but it's on the Triple Crown because it's in Hawaii. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, hey, Sunset should be on the tour, and I say, freaking hell no. I mean, there's 20 different waves in the world that you would rather see on the tour than the Sunset wave, and Margaret River is basically a cold water version of Sunset.
Right.
And except it goes left too. You know, nobody's going left at Sunset. Not too much,
right?
But it's basically a cold water version, which kind of makes you think about Ezekiel Lau, who's probably rips at Sunset, but now he has to put on a wetsuit, right?
Right.
So I mean, that's kind of maybe another thing you got to talk about is a lot of these guys coming out from Hawaii, they're not used to putting on a wetsuit all year long. I mean, sure, a lot of them surf the QS, so they have to. But I don't think that's going to be like their forte.
Right.
So I mean, where are we at in the heat?
Right now we're paused at round 4. We didn't pick any winners of those heats.
Okay.
Those are all hard. I mean, it's a non-elimination round. We could go ahead and just shoot through.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yeah, really quick.
So round 4, it's going to be dwindling conditions at this point. I don't know if there's going to be a new swell at this point. I know the first, 4 or 5 days of the waiting period, there's
first 3 days looks like there's waves.
Yeah, the first 3 days, it looks like the first day is going to be, like feet overhead or something like
Yeah,
that.
I'm
Head
sure.
high to feet overhead. But then last year was like double overhead. It looked like.
Yeah, it
almost.
looked like double overhead last year on some days.
On some of the I think on the quarterfinal round it looked, on some of the waves it definitely looked like almost double. So we're talking smaller waves. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Wilkinson over D'Souza and Dantes, even though obviously they all have a really good chance of winning that heat.
Okay.
Parkinson, Zeitz, Florence. Ooh.
I'll go Parko. It might be wishful thinking, but I'm going with Parko.
Alright, we'll go with Parko. He's got a chance. Everybody's got a chance at this point. We run this a bunch of ways and they go into round 5 and then we'll see, you know. So Medina, Wilson, Wright. Gotta go with Owen.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Slater, Perez, Smith.
Shit. Slater, Perez, Smith. I'll go with Jordy.
Yeah, Jordy, that's what I was thinking. Jordy. Oh, and then we have to pick
You gotta pick the second guy.
The second guy.
In each heat. And just do random.
Alright.
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't matter.
So again, we're just to give a shout out and credit. He's looking at WSL Bracket, which is basically a site where you can run all the heat winners of each heat draw. And I wish I could tell you the name of the person who set up that site right now, but we got to give him massive credit because obviously in this stream we're really relying on that right now.
Absolutely.
As we said before, Italo Ferreira might not be in the draw, so the draw might change. So this is going to be a good tool for you to pick your teams. And again, you might have to look at it in the next couple of days if the heat draw changes. And so mad props to that guy who's running that draw.
Yeah, it's great.
And
it really is so interactive
it's
and
really great. It's one of the best ones. And
it's awesome.
if you're watching this stream and there's a way to send that guy some PayPal $5 or here and there just to keep him running that, then it's totally worth it, and I would recommend that.
Absolutely. All right, so we're at round 5.
Okay.
You got Wiggly, Florence. You gotta go with John, right? Well, I don't know. He could definitely lose that if it's.
He could.
But okay, so taking the perspective, it might be smaller, like maybe like shoulder to head high, chest to head high.
And John might bust some off the top maneuvers, like some nose picks or something like
that. It's gonna be
that.
scrappy towards the end.
I'm going John.
Yeah. We might have to almost look at some of these other ones because maybe is Parko really going to be able to perform?
Yeah.
In
I mean,
round
again,
4?
we're guessing on what
he could beat John could beat him in that one.
But we don't really know what the conditions will be by that time. Maybe they don't hold any rounds for a couple of days and wait for another swell to come in.
Right. So we're just going off the same conditions, and it's definitely wise to consider John in any heat.
Yeah.
And then so then he's up against Adriano. We're taking John. Wilson, Slater.
Shit, I gotta go Julian.
I hope you win, Julian. I like that. Perez, Medina.
Perez, Medina. I almost gotta go Medina.
Yeah, you got to. I think you got to.
Yeah, just because he's a competitive machine, Medina.
Did we pick Dantes Zeitz? That's actually the first.
No.
Dantes Zeitz.
Let's go Zeitz.
Alright, Zeitz. Seabass, do it.
Zeitz.
I really want to put him back on my team. Quarterfinals look like Matt Wilkinson, Sebastian Zeitz, Parko, and John, Owen, and Julian, Jordy, and Gabe.
Wow.
Spicy.
That's
I hope it comes out like that. That would be really
spicy.
Really fun.
I mean,
to watch.
Mick's not in there. Would bum me out because Mick's on my team.
Yeah, at this point, we're hoping to have a few guys in there. And if I'm looking at my team right now, I don't really have very many guys in. I got Owen.
I'd have Parko. Who else is in there? Oh, I have Julian.
Yeah, I got one. So I'm not looking good. I'm gonna have to repair my team.
So I mean, that would be gnarly if it turns out that way, right? I mean, But that's what happened to my men's team for this last event.
Right. Me too. I fell apart.
I totally
I got destroyed.
I picked, Julian and Mick and all these guys that I thought were going to end up on perfect sides of the heat draw, and I don't think I broke 700 on Fantasy Surfer for the men.
I didn't even check my score. It was so bad. I
dominated the women.
Holy smokes.
I dominated the women.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
Winning a clubhouse.
One of the other live streams clubhouse for the women.
What? Share with us your Fantasy Surfer handle.
So it's the news.
The news.
So the
this
news.
Is my boy, the news.
And
everybody out there.
If you guys have been
Surfer.
playing Fantasy Surfer for a long time, I had one of the original clubhouses that broke down Fantasy Surfer events with pictures, video, and basically text breakdown before anybody was doing it that way on the internet. And so now we're just kind of getting back into it and breaking down. We don't always win, but we think we have an opinion, and
yeah, just sharing an opinion, and
just like all
we
of
do
you.
pretty well. And then we're super competitive, and back in the good old days when we used to do FASL, which was awesome. Someday maybe
it comes back up.
The powers that be will let things be.
Yeah. We made a lot of money there.
I almost watched somebody just flip their learner
sailboat.
I
saw that too.
I was like ready for him.
This is what's great about Southern California is you've got sailboats, and that thing's probably 6 feet long.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The guy almost spilled his sailboat right in front of us.
Trying to flip the sail around, almost went down.
So is there anything else we need to talk about on this stream before we end it today?
I don't know. Do you want to run it to the final? There's only a couple more heats.
Okay, let's run to the final.
Wilkinson's heats. I don't know. Wilkinson's on fire.
Yeah.
Zeets is really good though. That's a crapshoot.
Let's go with Wilco.
Parco Florence. I'm going with John.
Yeah, let's go with John.
Owen Wilson.
Let's go with Owen.
I got Owen too. Smith Medina.
Shit. I'm going with Smith.
Oh, I hope so. Smith, do it. Do it. Wilkinson Florence. Ooh.
In the semis?
In the semis.
Wilkinson Florence in the semis.
I will go.
Okay, go Wilco. I'll let you.
I'm going backside. I'm going Owen and Jordy too. Or I'm going Owen over Jordy.
Okay, so pick backsiders again.
Whoa, back to the same old final.
That'd be the same final. That'd be the same final. Which is interesting, that we went through all this, and that's how it ends up on the draw. So,
yeah.
it shows you again what the draw is like, which is kind of key.
Yep. And we just randomly went through there.
That was just random.
Picking by our gut on what we thought people could do on a couple feet overhead. Which I kind of feel like if the winds aren't too bad, initially, it looks like the winds aren't going to be too bad. People are going to be able to do whatever they want. And then I think later, it gets onshore. So if it gets small and onshore, obviously there's going to be a lot of errors.
Yeah, but Margaret's itself is not really an air place.
I don't really know that wave.
Yeah. I think when it gets smaller, it's still fat there,
I hate to say that. But
and that's true. Yeah, I think it's still a fat wave no matter what.
Yeah, unless it's big and bombing, it's hard. It's hard for me.
I don't think, the airs aren't going to be a Felipe Toledo 6-foot air over the lip. It's going to be like a nose pick. Like at sunset.
Yeah.
Like someone comes out at the top and does like a really quick nose pick.
I think in one of Stu Kennedy's heats last year, that was one attempt he tried to do, but it looked like it was offshore and it kind of held him up, and it wasn't a very, very lofty one. It was maybe, a foot up and chop hop style kind of at the top of the wave. But it's so slopey, so it's like a snowboard freaking.
It's a snowboard.
Yeah, it's a snowboard wave. You gotta carve it like a snowboard. Yep. So, anyways, that's
about it.
That's about it. We can call that a wrap at this point. And we're gonna enjoy some more sunshine over here on the west coast in the harbor of Ventura, on the rite of passage with a big wolf dog.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Come here. Sit.